Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about TikTok once more, but this time it's not even really about TikTok. It's about content online catering to, listen, I don't even know what demographic this is catering to, and I'm certainly going to be insulting if I tried to describe it, so I'm just going to say I don't know. As we've seen throughout the years, between girl-defined and then men's rights activists like the Andrew Tate types, we've seen advice online going horribly awry, but we've seen a lot of relationship advice specifically. First of all, because I think a lot of people feel empowered to talk about their relationships with a certain level of authority, which is fine so long as we all address the fact that you are not a licensed psychologist, psychiatrist, like you don't have a license in that particular field. Regardless, there are some people who take themselves a little too seriously, in my opinion, and decide to give advice that is it's try hard, okay? I don't use that term very often, but it is try hard because it comes off as someone really trying to convince you that they know what they're talking about, which for me does the exact opposite, because it's like, why are you trying to convince me? Like, if you are what you are, why are you trying to underline it so hard? Anyway, enough of me talking, let's just get into this. Now, I'm only really going to refer to one video because it's been coming up on my timeline, so at this point I'm just taking it as a sign from above, or rather below.
Again, you're always so careless.
Well, hold on a sec. Let's use some non-violent communication here. Instead of attacking me, let's start with observation.
We're 7 seconds in and I'm ready to fight. Listen, I am all for nonviolent communication. I think most people are. It's a different thing when you try to approach me, first of all, like I'm a moron, because when people explain things to you in this type of way where you don't need someone to explain to you, let's use some nonviolent communication. I'd like to hope that that's any type of communication you have with your partner, but I digress. Aside from that, I think the main issue with all of this is the absolute condescension of it all, in the sense of, why do you feel equipped to tell me what we have to do and how we have to do it on your own terms? If you want to sit down and have a conversation about our communication, that's fine, but it just seems convenient that you want to discuss our communication when I have an issue with something you're doing, or rather not doing. And just to underline, because I know this will come up, it inevitably does, this is not about men being right or women being right, or whose job it is between men and women to take out the trash. As partners, you divide your responsibilities or do whatever you want. So if someone's not fulfilling their responsibility, it's as easy as, hey, can you do this because it's what you're supposed to be doing, as opposed to having a fucking discourse about nonviolent communication. Like, who's being violent? She's literally telling you that you're not doing the one thing you're supposed to be doing. It doesn't seem that complicated to me.
So the trash is still in the bin. That's a fact.
Okay, fine. The trash is still in the bin.
Right, now let's move on to feelings. How are you feeling about the trash being in the bin?
I'm feeling frustrated and annoyed.
Got it. And what need or value is being unmet for you when the trash isn't taken out?
I guess I just value cleanliness and organization in our home.
Okay, so now can you make a request to address that need?
No. No. I don't care if that makes me wrong or toxic for just saying, this is over-intellectualizing shit that is not that deep. Truly not. You can very kindly and non-violently tell someone, hey, can you take out the trash? And we can cut out all of this bullshit, all of this, what needs are being met? How do you feel about that? Like, those are conversations that you have about serious topics in relationships. Like, if someone feels like they want to leave a relationship, you might talk about certain needs that aren't being met. If someone feels neglected, you can talk about, again, needs not being met. But when we're talking about the goddamn trash, like, I'm sorry. Why is this turning into a whole thing? The reason why I'm using this as an example is that I've seen multiple versions of this, thankfully, that I've wiped from my memory and did not save because my phone is exploding, really exploding with trash exactly like this. It's really positive to try and work on your relationships, try to work on your communication. In my opinion, this isn't even a question of intention. It's a question of being realistic and also being, in a way, pragmatic. Because the majority of people, first of all, won't want to communicate this way. Second of all, it doesn't come naturally to anyone, and most people probably don't want to change their entire speech pattern / vocabulary just to fit this. Third of all, if we can simplify certain things in life, why not just do that? I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion according to these TikToks, but if I can make things easier, if I can make things more brief, especially if they're boring things like taking out the trash, why would I turn it into this whole exchange? Like, it's only been 26 seconds out of 45 to just say, take out the trash. Also, he said that she was attacking him. Where is she attacking you? She's annoyed because it's gross to have trash accumulate. Like, what is the big deal? It's not like she came in screaming and shouting. I don't understand. And I think that's also what bothers me, is that they're amplifying a situation, trying to make it seem like something happened that didn't happen. Because trust, I know what it's like when people come at you aggressively. This is not it. And that's not me gatekeeping aggression, but it's also like, let's recognize it a little better, because otherwise, next thing we know, we're gonna have a whole generation of TikTokers coming out here being like, someone was aggressive towards me because they asked me to fulfill this basic thing I signed up to fulfill. I don't know, I feel very boomer in everything I'm saying, but to me it makes sense. So
can you please request that I take the trash out next time I see it's full?
Yes, I request that you please take out the trash next time you see it's full.
Understood. I'll make sure to take care of it. And remember, we can always use this non-violent communication process to effectively resolve conflicts and meet each other's needs.
there are a lot of things I could say. None of them are nice. So I'd seen this comment on Twitter. I can't find it in the thread anymore, but basically the person was saying that this guy's version of nonviolent communication, like how he defines it based on this example, just makes it seem like, hey, communicate with me in a way that I find palatable and that's easy for me to digest and isn't in any way annoying to me, which in a relationship generally is a fair request. But if someone's annoyed at you, you don't really go to them and tell them, hey, don't talk to me with that tone, when it's like a tone like this, slightly annoyed, maybe. And it's interesting because amidst all of this, where the core issue is taking out the trash, it's funny because the conversation gets moved to, let's communicate better, which again is a valid conversation. But in this particular case, it really does make it look like the dude is basically trying to reroute where the discussion is, turning it into like a weird mechanical robotic thing. Like, this sounds low-key like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. It doesn't sound conversational at all. It makes the guy really, really unlikable because it's like, dude, if you just took out the trash, we wouldn't even have to have this conversation. But aside from that, it's also like, can you request that I do the thing? Okay, I request you do that. Why would you want to create a relationship like that? It sounds like we're at the DMV, like making formal requests to receive a document so you can do another thing, and everyone fucking hates the DMV. So that's how I feel about that, the DMV. Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. I just think it's funny that they used this as an example for nonviolent communication, because this is probably one of the mildest examples where it's kind of useless, as opposed to an example where people would actually get heated and where things could escalate. Those are the examples I actually would find helpful myself if someone's really coming at you some type of way. And you do have to kind of, I don't know what term to use, disperse the situation, kind of make it a little bit less tense. Okay, here, it seems like much ado about nothing, to be honest. But anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.